Meghan Markle's big comeback at Balenciaga turned into total silence and awkward vibes. Whispers about bad smells, no warm welcome, and a creepy tunnel drive that echoes Princess Diana. This is the real story everyone is talking about. Stay with us. Good evening and welcome to Royal Daily Report, where we bring you the unfiltered truth behind the royal headlines. Today, we dive into Meghan Markle's Paris fashion. Week appearance that was supposed to be her triumphant return but went very differently. If you're new here, hit subscribe now to Royal Daily Report. Turn on notifications and join us for daily royal exclusives. Channel name on screen. Royal Daily Report. Let's get into it. Everyone thought this was Meghan Markle's big moment. Her "I'm back and you can't ignore me" fashion return. Balenciaga, front row. Cameras flashing everywhere. It was supposed to be amazing, but inside that building, it was completely silent. One person who works with fashion said, "You could feel the air freeze when she walked in. No smiles, no hugs, no 'oh my gosh, you look amazing.' Just eyes watching her, judging her." You'd think a duchess showing up at Fashion Week would cause crazy excitement. Photographers yelling her name, fashion editors fighting to take selfies with her, but no, she walked that carpet with her chin up, acting like she owned the city. But not a single important person came forward. People kept their distance. Actually, kept physical distance. Nobody wanted to be the one caught talking too close to her. The photographers took their pictures, but you could tell even they were bored. It was awkward. Really awkward. And behind that awkwardness, there were whispers. Fast, quiet, mean whispers because the people inside already knew something. The rest of the world didn't know. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to Royal Daily Report for more exclusive royal stories like this one. Hit that subscribe button now. Now, here's where it gets messy. The people working backstage started sharing stories. And guys, the gossip was shocking. They said being near her wasn't easy. Not because she was mean, but because she smelled bad. Yeah, you heard me right. Multiple people said the same thing. The breath, the body smell, it was bad. One person called it a mix of cheap perfume and stress smell. Another said you could tell the makeup team was panicking, spraying everything they could find. Apparently, she kept pulling her scarf closer to her face, smiling like nothing was wrong. But the makeup artist looked tired and stressed. Someone even joked, "You can fix makeup. You can't fix that smell." It sounds mean, but this is how gossip spreads in those groups. Fast, quiet, without mercy. By the end of the night, the rumor had already reached the lobby. People weren't talking about the Balenciaga clothes. They were whispering about her. That's the thing about Paris. It forgives people who are too confident. It forgives scandal, but it never forgives bad hygiene. After the Paris show, the talk inside the fashion companies grew louder. Designers whispered that Meghan's look had been a last-minute favor, not a big invitation. Balenciaga, the brand she chose for her return, hadn't rolled out the red carpet for her. In fact, they'd only given her one pair of shoes, simple black heels. The rest of the outfit was borrowed, not given as a gift. The clothes didn't fit right because they were never hers to keep. No custom fitting, no personal adjustments, no special touch. In the fashion world, that's a quiet message. You're not part of the circle. For celebrities, free clothes are a sign of status, a sign that the fashion house believes you'll bring value to their name. But for Meghan, there were rules. She had to return everything with the tag still attached. Stay with Royal Daily Report for more shocking revelations. Quick midscript. Subscribe. Call show channel name on screen. If these Paris details are shocking you, smash subscribe to Royal Daily Report right now. Hit like and keep watching. More coming up. Now, this is where it stops being awkward and starts getting creepy. Because when people in Paris said Meghan took a little drive through the tunnel, they didn't mean regular traffic. They meant that specific tunnel, the Ponte de Lama, the same place where Princess Diana's life ended. At first, people thought it was just coincidence. Then, her own team said she didn't know that was where Diana died. But those who knew her and knew her obsession with Diana couldn't believe it. Insiders whispered that she had filmed herself there on purpose, that she wanted to walk the same path to create the same emotion, to blur the line between herself and the woman who once had the world's love. It's the kind of action that makes you question everything, not just her choices, but her mind. How could a woman so educated, so good with media, not know the history of that tunnel? Her closest friend once said they used to watch Diana's funeral over and over again. She had studied that story. She knew the details. So, how could she not know? The answer is simple. She did know, and that makes it worse. And then the double standards. When Meghan first stepped into the royal spotlight, she called the press cruel, dangerous, and obsessed. She said the British media destroyed Diana and that she and Harry were the next targets. But behind the cameras, another truth was waiting quietly. The same woman who blamed the British press for using tragedy was now sitting down with CBS, the American TV network that bought and showed the photos of Princess Diana dying in her car. The very same network. Those pictures weren't British tabloid work. They were American network profit. CBS paid for them, showed them, and used Diana's final moments to get more viewers. And who gave them exclusive interviews decades later. Meghan and Harry, it's a detail few people talk about, but it changes everything. While the world was sad about Diana, CBS turned her death into a headline. While Harry cried for his mother, that same network sold the image of her pain. And years later, he returned hand in hand with the woman, now using Diana's memory to build her brand. It's more than irony. It's double standards, and Paris saw it all. Don't forget to subscribe to Royal Daily Report and stay updated with the latest royal news. From the moment she left the royal family, Meghan tried to rebrand herself as something new, a global helper, a CEO. But those who worked with her said it was all surface level. Her speeches were written by other people. Her business ideas were unclear and recycled. Her staff called her demanding without clear direction. And while she told the world she wanted privacy, she couldn't stop calling the cameras. Every move seemed designed to copy someone else. Diana's compassion, the Queen's grace, Hollywood's glamour, but in chasing everyone's reflection, she lost her own. The same woman who said she didn't know where Diana died had watched that funeral again and again. The same woman who said she never Googled Harry had planned her introduction to him with exact planning. The cracks were showing, and this time, no PR team could cover them up. The Paris show was supposed to be her rebirth. Instead, it became her mirror. People saw through the performance, the forced smiles, the desperate symbolism, the empty glamour. The same woman who once fascinated the world now looked like a shadow of her own illusion. Reporters began to ask questions they once avoided. Why did no major designer want to dress her? Why did no global brand sign her after Spotify and Netflix cooled off? And why, after all the healing talk, did Harry look more lost than ever? The answers whispered through Paris like cold wind because the story wasn't real anymore. The charm had faded and people were beginning to see the truth. Meghan Markle was no longer the mystery. She was the headline that had already been written too many times, and this time no interview could rewrite it. By the time she left Paris, the lights were still flashing, but the warmth was gone. The applause was polite, not passionate, and behind her the whispers were louder than the cheers. The city that once loved Diana had no space left for imitation. Paris doesn't reward fake behavior. It exposes it. And that week, it exposed Meghan completely. The world finally saw what insiders had been saying for years. That the glamour, the grace, the carefully staged image was just that, a stage. Behind the luxury clothes and camera smiles was someone empty, bitter, and tired of pretending. Maybe she thought Paris would crown her again. Instead, it stripped away the costume. By the end of it all, Meghan wasn't glowing under the lights. She was standing in their harsh glare. The difference between her and Diana was never just love. It was truth. And in Paris, truth finally caught up to her. Paris gave her what she wanted, attention, but not admiration. The lights flashed, the cameras clicked, and for a moment, she thought she'd become Diana's reflection. But Diana's light came from love. Meghan's came from performance. Those who saw her up close, the stylists, the assistants, the staff, said the truth out loud. It wasn't royalty. They were watching. It was imitation. The tunnel wasn't a symbol. It was a warning because Paris doesn't reward pretenders. It exposes them. And when the lights faded, there was no applause, just silence. She came to be remembered, and she will be not for grace, not for kindness, but for the moment when the act ended and the truth finally took the stage. That's all for today's episode of Royal Daily Report. What do you think was Paris, the end of Meghan's comeback? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.